In the ever-evolving landscape of hip-hop culture, few phenomena capture public attention quite like a well-executed diss track or verbal sparring between industry giants. Pause. The recent verbal exchange between 50 Cent and Sean Diddy Combs has become one of the most talked about moments in contemporary rap history, sparking conversations across social media platforms and music circles worldwide. This particular feud stands out not merely because of the high-profile status of its participants, but due to the masterful way 50 Cent has employed his signature blend of street-smart wit and calculated aggression. Pause. What began as seemingly isolated comments has rapidly escalated into a full-blown cultural phenomenon, with fans dissecting every bar, every punchline, and every strategic move made by both parties involved. The significance of this exchange extends beyond mere entertainment value. It represents a fascinating intersection of personal history, business rivalry, and artistic expression. Both artists have built empires through their music and entrepreneurial ventures, making their public disagreement particularly compelling for observers who understand the stakes involved. Pause. 50 Cent's approach to dissing Diddy has been particularly noteworthy, demonstrating a level of sophistication that reflects his years of experience in the game. What makes this situation truly remarkable is how organically it has captured the collective imagination of hip-hop fans and casual listeners alike. Social media platforms are abuzz with reactions, analyses, and memes stemming from their exchanges, creating a digital echo chamber that amplifies each new development. The viral nature of this feud speaks volumes about the enduring power of hip-hop as a cultural force and its ability to generate meaningful discourse through artistic confrontation. As we delve deeper into this unfolding drama, it becomes clear that these exchanges represent more than just personal grievances. They are a testament to the complex dynamics of power, respect, and legacy in the music industry. Pause. The public's voracious appetite for updates and commentary indicates that this feud has tapped into something fundamental about hip-hop culture itself, where verbal dexterity and strategic positioning remain as crucial today as they were during the genre's formative years. To fully appreciate the current tension between 50 Cent and Diddy, we must first examine the rich tradition of hip-hop rivalries that has shaped the genre since its inception. Pause. From the early days of KRS-One versus MC Shan in the mid-1980s, to the legendary East Coast-West Coast conflict of the 1990s, beef has been an integral part of hip-hop's evolution. These confrontations weren't merely personal disputes, they served as catalysts for artistic growth and innovation, pushing artists to sharpen their lyrical skills and elevate their craft. The golden age of hip-hop rivalries reached its peak during the infamous Tupac Shakur versus the Notorious B.I.G. era, a period that unfortunately ended in tragedy but left an indelible mark on the culture. Pause. This was followed by equally memorable feuds such as Nas versus Jay-Z, whose battle produced some of the most critically acclaimed tracks in hip-hop history. Each of these conflicts adhered to certain unwritten rules: respect for the art form, acknowledgement of each other's skills, and a commitment to settling scores primarily through music rather than violence. In the early 2000s, when 50 Cent burst onto the scene, he brought with him a particularly aggressive style of dissing that resonated with audiences hungry for authenticity and raw energy. His own notorious beef with Ja Rule demonstrated how effective strategic disses could be in building an artist's profile while simultaneously dismantling an opponent's credibility. This period established a template for modern hip-hop rivalries, blending personal attacks with clever wordplay and carefully timed releases. The dynamic between rappers evolved further as the internet age transformed how beefs played out publicly. Artists now had direct access to their audience through social media platforms, allowing them to control narratives and respond instantly to provocations. This immediacy changed the rhythm and intensity of hip-hop feuds, making them more personal and less mediated by traditional gatekeepers like radio stations or record labels. Understanding this historical context is crucial when analyzing the 50 Cent Diddy situation, as it demonstrates how their current exchange fits into a larger pattern of artistic confrontation within hip-hop. Their approaches reflect both classic elements of past rivalries and innovative strategies adapted for the modern digital landscape. Pause. The expectations for how such conflicts should unfold have been shaped by decades of precedent, creating a framework against which fans measure the effectiveness and legitimacy of any given beef. The roots of this particular feud extend back nearly 2 decades, tracing a complicated relationship that has oscillated between mentorship, competition, and mutual suspicion. Their paths first crossed in the late 1990s when 50 Cent, then an up-and-coming rapper from Queens, sought to establish himself in the New York hip-hop scene dominated by Bad Boy Records' influence. According to multiple accounts, their initial interactions were marked by professional tension, with Diddy reportedly dismissing 50's potential as a mainstream artist. The narrative took a dramatic turn following the infamous shooting incident in 2000 that left 50 Cent critically injured. While recuperating, he allegedly received a visit from Diddy, who expressed interest in signing him to Bad Boy Records. However, negotiations broke down over creative differences, with 50 reportedly unwilling to compromise his gritty street image for a more polished bad boy aesthetic. This rejection became a pivotal moment in 50's career trajectory, ultimately leading him to Eminem and Dr. Dre, whose mentorship would propel him to superstardom. Throughout the early 2000s, subtle tensions simmered beneath the surface as both artists pursued dominance in different spheres of the music industry. Diddy focused on expanding his entertainment empire through television ventures and high-profile collaborations, while 50 Cent leveraged his G-Unit brand to create a multimedia empire encompassing music, film, and fashion. Their business interests occasionally overlapped, creating friction points that were often resolved behind closed doors but never entirely extinguished. A significant turning point occurred during the recording of 50 Cent's debut album Get Rich or Die Tryin', when rumors circulated about Diddy attempting to sign several of 50's G-Unit affiliates. While neither party confirmed these allegations publicly, insiders suggest this period marked a definitive cooling of whatever cordial relations might have existed. The situation grew more complex as both artists found themselves competing for similar market segments and endorsement deals throughout the decade. Their personal animosity gained additional layers through various industry encounters and near collaborations that never materialized. Multiple sources recount instances where projects fell through due to conflicting egos and incompatible visions, each missed opportunity adding another brick to the wall of resentment between them. Yet despite these underlying tensions, both maintained a veneer of professionalism in public appearances, careful not to air their grievances openly until recently. The accumulated baggage from these years of indirect competition and thwarted alliances created fertile ground for the current explosion of verbal warfare. Each slight perceived betrayal and missed opportunity contributed to a reservoir of grievances that, once unleashed, revealed the depth of their long-standing discord. This historical context explains why 50 Cent's current jabs carry such weight and resonance within the hip-hop community, tapping into a shared awareness of their complex past interactions. What sets 50 Cent's current campaign against Diddy apart is his sophisticated application of psychological warfare, combined with surgical precision in his lyrical assaults. Unlike many contemporary rappers who rely primarily on shock value or explicit content, 50 employs a multi-layered strategy that appeals to both casual listeners and hardcore hip-hop enthusiasts. His approach can be broken down into three distinct yet interconnected components: timing, substance, and delivery. The timing of his diss tracks and social media posts demonstrates remarkable strategic acumen. 50 Cent has mastered the art of releasing content during peak engagement periods, ensuring maximum visibility and impact. For instance, his recent barrage of attacks coincided perfectly with major industry events where Diddy was scheduled to appear, effectively stealing headlines and redirecting public attention. This calculated timing isn't accidental, it reflects years of experience understanding media cycles and audience behavior. When examining the substance of his lyrics, we find a careful balance between personal attacks and broader commentary about power dynamics in the music industry. Rather than simply trading insults, 50 Cent weaves intricate narratives that expose what he perceives as hypocrisy in Diddy's business practices. His verses often reference specific incidents from their shared history, forcing listeners to connect the dots between past grievances and present accusations. This technique not only validates his claims, but also invites longtime fans to participate in the storytelling process. The delivery of these diss tracks showcases 50 Cent's evolved artistic capabilities. Gone are the days of straightforward aggression. Instead, he employs nuanced vocal inflections and carefully crafted punchlines that land with devastating precision. His flow alternates between conversational tones and rapid-fire delivery, keeping listeners engaged while delivering complex messages. Particularly noteworthy is his use of metaphor and double entendre, which allows him to make pointed criticisms while maintaining plausible deniability, Perhaps most impressive is how 50 Cent integrates multiple media platforms into his diss strategy. He moves seamlessly between Instagram posts, YouTube videos, and traditional music releases, creating a comprehensive narrative that reinforces his message across different channels. This omni-channel approach ensures that his critiques reach diverse audiences, from younger fans consuming content on social media to older hip-hop purists who prefer traditional album releases. The psychological dimension of his attacks deserves special attention. 50 Cent understands that the most effective diss tracks don't just insult, they undermine confidence and plant seeds of doubt. His lyrics frequently target aspects of Diddy's persona that the latter has worked hardest to cultivate, such as his reputation as a savvy businessman or his status as a cultural icon. By systematically dismantling these carefully constructed facades, 50 forces his opponent to either respond or risk appearing vulnerable. Another crucial element of his strategy involves crowdsourcing support from fellow artists and industry figures. Through carefully placed shoutouts and collaborative efforts, he's built a network of allies who amplify his message while providing additional credibility to his claims. This coalition-building approach creates the impression of a widespread movement rather than a personal vendetta, making it harder for Diddy to dismiss the criticism as mere jealousy or bitterness. The viral nature of 50 Cent's diss campaign also stems from his understanding of contemporary meme culture. Many of his lines and visuals are specifically designed to be easily quotable and shareable, transforming serious critiques into internet-ready content that spreads organically across platforms. This fusion of traditional hip-hop diss tactics with modern digital marketing techniques represents a significant evolution in how beefs are conducted and consumed in the current era. Ultimately, what makes 50 Cent's approach so effective is its combination of authenticity and calculation. While his delivery maintains the raw edge that made him famous, the underlying strategy reveals a sophisticated understanding of media dynamics and audience psychology. This marriage of street-smart instincts with corporate-level planning has created a blueprint for modern hip-hop warfare that others will undoubtedly attempt to replicate. Whether consciously or not, 50 Cent is redefining what it means to engage in a high-stakes musical feud in the digital age. The transformation of hip-hop beefs through social media platforms has fundamentally altered how artists engage in public disputes, with the 50 Cent Diddy situation serving as a masterclass in modern digital warfare. Unlike previous generations where diss tracks were primarily delivered through official album releases or radio play, today's artists have direct access to their audience through multiple digital channels, enabling real-time engagement and instant feedback loops. This immediate connectivity has created a 24/7 news cycle for hip-hop drama, where every post, comment, and reaction becomes part of the public narrative. Platforms like Instagram, Twitter, now X, and TikTok have become battlegrounds where artists strategically deploy various forms of content to maximize impact. 50 Cent has demonstrated exceptional skill in utilizing these tools, posting cryptic messages that spark speculation, sharing archival footage that supports his claims, and engaging directly with fans who amplify his message. The visual nature of platforms like Instagram Stories allows him to present supporting evidence, screenshots of text messages, old photographs, and financial documents, in ways that were impossible in the pre-digital era. This multimedia approach adds layers of authenticity to his arguments, while providing followers with constant updates that maintain interest and momentum. The interactive aspect of social media has also changed how audiences consume and participate in these feuds. Fans aren't merely passive observers, they become active participants through likes, shares, and comments, effectively becoming foot soldiers in the digital battle. Memes created from key moments in the dispute spread rapidly across platforms, reaching audiences who might not typically follow hip-hop news. This organic amplification creates a snowball effect, where even casual users become aware of the beef through trending topics and viral content. YouTube has emerged as another crucial arena in this digital conflict, where both official releases and fan-created content contribute to the narrative. 50 Cent's strategic use of video content, including freestyles, interviews, and documentary-style clips, provides multiple entry points for different audience segments. The platform's algorithm favors content that generates high engagement, meaning controversial or provocative material naturally receives greater visibility. This creates a feedback loop where successful posts gain more traction, prompting further content creation and response. The speed at which information spreads through these digital channels has significantly shortened the response time expected in hip-hop feuds. Where artists once had days or weeks to craft their responses, the current environment demands almost immediate reaction. This pressure can lead to unfiltered outbursts that might not have been released under traditional circumstances, potentially escalating conflicts more quickly than intended. Moreover, the permanence of digital content adds another layer of complexity to these disputes. Once posted, words and images exist indefinitely online, creating a detailed public record of the feud that can be referenced and reinterpreted endlessly. This permanence forces artists to carefully consider their digital footprint, while simultaneously providing ample material for opponents to exploit. The ability to screenshot and archive every interaction transforms ephemeral moments into lasting ammunition in the ongoing battle. The global reach of social media has also internationalized what might have remained localized disputes. Fans from different countries and cultures engage with the content, bringing diverse perspectives to the discussion, and sometimes misinterpreting nuances due to cultural differences. This worldwide attention creates additional pressure on artists to maintain their public image while navigating complex international perceptions of their conflict. Perhaps most significantly, social media has democratized access to these feuds, allowing independent artists and commentators to participate alongside established figures. Podcast hosts, YouTubers, and social media personalities provide running commentary and analysis, shaping public opinion and sometimes influencing the direction of the conflict itself. This decentralized narrative control means that no single party can completely dominate the conversation, forcing artists to engage with multiple fronts simultaneously. Beneath the surface of lyrical jabs and social media spats lies a complex web of financial motivations and consequences that drive and result from high-profile hip-hop feuds. The 50 Cent Diddy situation exemplifies how these public disputes can serve as powerful marketing tools, while simultaneously carrying significant economic risks. Industry analysts estimate that well-executed beefs can boost streaming numbers by 30–50%, with corresponding increases in merchandise sales and concert ticket purchases. However, these potential gains must be weighed against the possibility of alienating lucrative partnerships and damaging long-term brand equity. The immediate financial impact of their ongoing conflict is evident in streaming data. Following each major salvo in their feud, both artists have experienced substantial spikes in their catalog plays, with 50 Cent's older tracks seeing particular resurgence. Platforms like Spotify and Apple Music report increased listener acquisition rates during these periods, suggesting that the drama serves as an effective introduction for new fans to explore their respective discographies. This phenomenon has led to what some industry insiders term conflict economics, where artists deliberately time releases to capitalize on heightened public interest generated by ongoing disputes. Merchandise sales tell a similar story of opportunistic marketing. Both camps have rolled out limited edition items, referencing specific moments in their feud, from t-shirts featuring clever wordplay to collectible items incorporating viral soundbites. These products often sell out within hours, demonstrating how controversy can translate directly into consumer demand. However, experts caution that this strategy carries inherent risks, as brands may become hesitant to associate with artists embroiled in prolonged public conflict. Sponsorship deals and brand partnerships represent perhaps the most delicate aspect of hip-hop beefs. While edgy marketing campaigns might benefit from temporary association with viral drama, long-term corporate relationships require stability and predictability. Several high-profile endorsements have reportedly been placed on hold pending resolution of the current dispute, illustrating how these conflicts can disrupt carefully cultivated business networks. The situation becomes particularly precarious when considering cross-industry investments, where negative publicity in one sector can ripple through others. The financial implications extend beyond individual artists to affect entire record labels and associated businesses. Streaming services and digital platforms experience increased engagement during these periods, benefiting from the surge in user activity. Meanwhile, traditional media outlets see spikes in viewership and readership as they cover developments in the feud, creating a complex ecosystem where multiple stakeholders profit from sustained public interest. This interconnectedness raises questions about whether certain aspects of these disputes are artificially prolonged to maintain revenue streams. Investment portfolios and business ventures connected to both artists face scrutiny during these periods of heightened tension. Share prices of companies associated with either party can fluctuate based on public perception, while potential investors may adopt a wait-and-see approach before committing resources. The situation becomes particularly complicated when considering joint ventures or overlapping business interests, where collateral damage can occur regardless of which side emerges victorious in the public eye. Perhaps most intriguingly, the current feud highlights how modern hip-hop artists have evolved into sophisticated business entities capable of leveraging conflict for financial gain, from strategically timed product launches to carefully orchestrated media appearances. Both 50 Cent and Diddy demonstrate an understanding of monetizing controversy that goes far beyond simple name-calling. Their actions suggest that in today's music industry, being involved in a high-profile beef is as much a business decision as it is an artistic or personal one, with carefully calculated risks and rewards driving each move in the public chess game. This professionalization of conflict management represents a significant shift in how hip-hop artists navigate their careers in the digital age. The reverberations of the 50 Cent Diddy feud extend far beyond the boundaries of hip-hop culture, infiltrating mainstream media and societal consciousness in profound ways. National news outlets, typically reserved for coverage of political affairs and global events, have dedicated significant airtime to analyzing their exchanges, signaling a shift in what constitutes culturally relevant news. Major publications like the New York Times and the Washington Post have published extensive pieces exploring the sociological implications of their conflict, treating it as a lens through which to examine broader themes of success, power, and race in America. Social media platforms have transformed this hip-hop drama into a cultural phenomenon that transcends demographic barriers. Hashtags related to their feud consistently trend alongside major political and entertainment events, demonstrating how deeply embedded hip-hop culture has become in contemporary society. Educational institutions have incorporated analysis of their exchanges into courses on African American studies and popular culture, using the conflict as a case study in modern storytelling and media manipulation. This academic attention underscores how hip-hop feuds have evolved from mere entertainment to subjects worthy of scholarly examination. The influence extends into corporate boardrooms and marketing departments, where executives study the viral nature of their conflict for insights into consumer behavior and engagement strategies. Brands across various industries monitor the feud's progression, adjusting their marketing approaches based on observed patterns of audience interaction and content consumption. The situation has sparked discussions about authenticity and branding and the power of genuine narratives in capturing public imagination, lessons that transcend the music industry itself. Even political analysts have drawn parallels between their strategic exchanges and modern political discourse, noting similarities in how both arenas utilize media platforms to shape public perception. Perhaps most significantly, the feud has reignited national conversations about wealth distribution and racial dynamics in America's entertainment industry. As two of the most successful African American entrepreneurs in music history, their public clash highlights complex issues surrounding achievement, representation, and legacy within minority communities. Community leaders and activists have seized upon these themes, using the visibility generated by their conflict to address broader social justice concerns. The situation has become a touchstone for discussions about systemic inequality and the challenges faced by marginalized groups in maintaining power and influence within predominantly white corporate structures. The cultural impact manifests differently across generations, with younger audiences engaging through memes and viral content, while older demographics view the conflict through a historical lens. This generational divide in interpretation has sparked intergenerational dialogues about the evolution of hip-hop culture and its role in shaping American identity. The feud has become a shared cultural reference point,
bridging gaps between different age groups and backgrounds through common experiences of consuming and reacting to the drama. Furthermore, the situation has influenced how conflicts are perceived and processed in the digital age. It has set new standards for how public disagreements are conducted, negotiated, and resolved, impacting everything from workplace dynamics to diplomatic relations. The sophisticated blend of personal narrative, strategic timing, and multimedia presentation employed by both artists has become a template for modern conflict resolution in various sectors. This normalization of structured public disputes represents a significant cultural shift in how society approaches confrontation and negotiation in the public sphere. The hip-hop community's reaction to the 50 Cent Diddy feud has been as diverse and complex as the industry itself, reflecting deep divisions about the nature and purpose of public conflict in music. Established artists have largely taken measured positions, with figures like Jay-Z and Nas offering carefully worded statements that acknowledge the artistic merit of the exchange, while expressing concern about its potential escalation. Younger artists, however, have shown less restraint, often using the situation as a springboard for their own promotional activities, or to position themselves within the industry's power structure. Record label executives find themselves in a particularly delicate position, balancing their professional relationships with both camps, while managing the fallout among their respective rosters. The sources within major labels reveal that A&R meetings now include discussions about how to protect their artists from being drawn into the conflict, while simultaneously capitalizing on the increased attention the drama brings to hip-hop as a whole. Some executives have privately expressed frustration at how the feud has disrupted planned releases and collaborations, while others see it as an opportunity to renegotiate contracts and marketing strategies. Industry veterans have noted an interesting generational divide in how artists approach participation in the drama. Older figures tend to view the situation through the lens of hip-hop's historical codes of conduct, emphasizing respect for the craft and concern for maintaining industry cohesion. They've called for a return to traditional methods of conflict resolution, suggesting private mediation rather than public spectacle. In contrast, newer artists embrace the viral nature of the conflict, seeing it as an essential component of modern music promotion and career advancement. Producers and songwriters have experienced both positive and negative effects from the situation. On one hand, there's increased demand for beats and hooks suitable for diss tracks and response songs. On the other, some collaborators have found themselves caught between loyalty to different camps, leading to awkward situations during studio sessions and writing credits. The session musicians report heightened security measures at recording studios as both artists work on material related to the feud, reflecting the sensitive nature of these projects. The impact extends to hip-hop media outlets and journalists who must navigate increasingly polarized audiences. Publications face pressure to maintain balanced coverage while dealing with advertisers aligned with either side of the conflict. Some editors have implemented strict guidelines about reporting on the feud, recognizing its potential to divide their readership and affect subscription numbers.